Good afternoon, everyone. This is Victor from NewStars Migration. We got a lot of inquiries yesterday till now about the first invitation round for overseas program. A lot of questions focusing on the points. Of course, people caring about the points. Let's look at the invitation figure first. Invitation round happened yesterday. So for the onshore ones, onshore metrics, yesterday ACT government issued 57 invitation for 180 and 79 for 491. Together it's 136 invitation. For overseas ones, yesterday ACT government issued 25 invitation for 180 and 81 invitation for 491. So together it's 106. So basically yesterday's invitation round, we're starting to see kind of very similar invitation number for onshore and offshore applicants, 136 versus 106. So the question brings to, will ACT continue to distribute invitation in the coming rounds evenly or very close to evenly among the onshore and offshore ones? The answer is probably it will last for a few rounds, because what happens now is, since the program is open to offshore applicants a few days ago, ACT is starting to receive quite a lot of invitation now. But actually the precise expression will be a little bit out of the expectation. It's a lot of people actually showing the interest to submit the metrics to ACT, when we all know there was no particular precondition you had to fill in or satisfy in order to submit the metrics, particularly for those offshore ones. A lot of people don't have the knowledge about what's the requirements of ACT metrics. A lot of people don't have time to carefully read through the guidelines and read through the criteria of offshore criteria, which end up in a very interesting situation, which we can see from the points. For 491 offshore applicants now, we're seeing people have 80, 85, even 100 points. But if you carefully go through the metrics point for offshore ones, and you do your calculation, basically you click all those sections, you'll be able to tell anyone who hits 60 or 65, it's already good enough. A lot of people won't be able to achieve the points over 65. But for the result now, we can see people have 80, 85. My answer to this is, there are a lot of people don't understand the criteria. For example, there are two very typical examples. First one is about the working experience. A lot of people click for the experience they're actually working for. For example, they've been working in a company for 7 years, they click for 7 years. But the actual requirement is that working experience needs to be recognized by the skill assessment body, which means your 7 years working experience will probably end up about 3 or 4 years of working experience. That's something a lot of people don't know. Second thing is, a lot of people click the points they're supposed to have, or they think they're going to have in the future, but that's actually against the Canberra metrics criteria. Canberra metrics telling you, when you submit the metrics, you should have all those criteria ready for you. For example, people will have professional level English but click for superior level because they think they're assuming they're going to have the English level in 1 month or 2 months time. So they actually increase the points from what they have now to the future ones, the prospect future ones. Again, it's not following the criteria. So that particular application you made based on the future English points is actually not accurate, and that one's actually not valid. Another example we'll probably take is, a lot of people even click job offer for 20 points because they assuming or they think this 20 points is basing on you'll be able to find a job offer in the future. But actually the criteria is you should secure a job offer before you submit the metrics, then you click the 20 points. So this is very interesting, because this first round for offshore applicants, I assuming a lot of people don't understand the criteria, a lot of people showing the massive passion to ACT program. The result is they just go online and submit the metrics to show their interest to ACT. They're pushing out the points. So what we're seeing now for the first round is not accurate. So don't be panic. I got a chance to speak ACT government this morning as well. They tell me actually very confidently saying, this is probably not the actual number they expecting, the points expecting for offshore applicants. They're expecting probably people having 60 to 65 for 491. For 180 is a bit special, because everyone who apply for 180 should have a job offer. That's the tough one, not the points. So you have to secure a very genuine job offer, and the requirement for job offer is actually very high. But for 491, as I'm saying, once you go through the system, you'll be able to find, and people have 65, satisfy a lot of criteria already. But those have 70 or 80 or even higher points, we're assuming a lot of people are actually making mistake when they clicking the selections of the metrics points. So don't be panicked. My expectation is still 65, around 65 for 4 hour offshore. For 180 offshore, the major concern you should have is how to find a job offer. That's probably we can tell from the invitation round. And a lot of people are asking question, why the points in 491 is even higher than 180? Again, as I'm saying, it doesn't matter, because what happens is now is majority of people will go for 491. I think that's simple enough. Even for offshore ones, a lot of people will apply for 491 because they understand it's easier. I don't need to find a job offer, so let's just go online and do the 491 one. Let's end up with the currently in the pool. If we're talking in the pool, in the application pool for offshore, there's way lot more applicants in 491 than 190. What happened to ACT? Office is they have to do something. Even they be able to tell all those 81s, 91s, 100 are not the genuine ones, are those people who made a mistake, but they are staying in the system. They have to clear out all those people have higher points in order to invite those people have reasonable points, saying those people have 65. So once you have somebody have points higher than you, they get invited first. This is how the system works. They cannot go down and they cannot suspect all those 81s and 91s are fakes. So they have to invite these 91s, 81, 101 first. And then what we're going to see is they issue, for example, they issue 81 invitation to 491. And then a lot of people realize I get invited. Then they're starting to carefully look in the documents, carefully look in the guideline. They find out I just simply don't have all the documents to support the application. And 81s, probably 50% of the 81 decide not to pay the $300 to ACT. It's a waste of money, as I don't have the English recall, score recall in the system. 50% choose to drop out from the application, and then another 50% go ahead to ACT government. A lot of people just have the ideas I should give it a try, but we all know ACT government's very careful about documents. And then again, a lot of people provide a document, pay $300. Maybe another 80% people getting refused. So even they issue 81 invitation, it does not mean 81 people will get nomination from ACT. We probably see 10%, 5%, maybe even lower. So that's something we can expect. We should be able to have all those results in the coming few weeks. So simply saying 106 invitation to overseas does not necessarily mean 106 people will get nomination. We'll probably see a very low portions of people end up successfully getting the nomination. But the picture now is, the landscape now is, there are a lot of people applied from overshore, and there are a lot of people with points, a lot of high points, or ideally the points they think they have in the pool, and they may remain for a bit of time. And for those people who have genuine points, have 60, 65, 70 points, you just have to wait until those 80, 85, 95, 100 points gets cleared out, gets kicked out from the system, and that's your chance to get invited. Of course, what we're trying to do as a responsible agent, we're trying to tell all those potential applicants offshore, first thing first, look at the criteria, look at the guideline, make sure you understand all the criteria, make sure you meet the criteria before you submit the metrics, because you're simply taking about a minute or two to click the metrics application, but you're not using that place, you're not using that application properly, and you're not even using the invitation once you get invited because you're not eligible. You're actually wasting the chance and the time for those people actually eligible for the program. That's a waste of the program, it's a waste of your time, waste of every people's time. Try to be respectful of the program. ACT is doing a job, try to open to overseas, but what we're trying to do is try to be cooperate with the rule and the system. But we keep on mentioning not just to the offshore ones, but onshore ones as well. Read all those things, make sure you fit into those criteria before you submit the metrics. But anyway, I know it's a period of time, it's a period of circle of education. People need some time to get used to it. But that's the invitation situation we see from the first invitation round. As to those onshore ones, we get people from onshore asking, well, will these push up the points? My understanding is yes and no. Well, yes is for in the coming few weeks, even a few months, because what ACT government have to do is they have to give some kind of invitation to clear out, as I'm saying, the offshore ones. So Supposedly they have 200 places available for area invitation round. Now 80 places go to offshore. 80 places doesn't mean 80 invitations. So among these 80, probably only 10 places or 5 places being used. Then another 75, circulated, go to the next round. But they'll have to keep on doing this, 80 and 80, for the maybe 5 rounds or 10 rounds. Then we're probably going to see the points drops and stable. Then they probably will not, starting to issue 80 invitation. They're probably starting to issue 40 invitation. But for you as an onshore applicant, it simply delays your chance to get invited, because previously they issued 200 places. Now they issue 100 places to onshore ones, and the points would definitely go up. We'll probably go for 60, from 60 to 65 or 65 to 80 possibly. So it actually dragged the time you being invited. Of course, a lot of people have visa problems. A lot of people do not have that much time. A lot of people, about to losing their job, losing the criteria. That's something definitely will happen. But in longer term, some of the places for offshore ones, if they're not being successful attended by the offshore applicants, they probably will go back to the onshore ones. But we have to see a few rounds before making that conclusion. In long term, again, we're hopefully to see a major increase in the nomination places in ACT from 200 maybe to much higher number, 3,000, 4,000, we don't know. But if that happens, that's probably a happy ending for both onshore and offshore applicants. We see more places, and they've been distributed among the onshore applicants and the offshore applicants. And that's something we're not going to see before July. But generally speaking, this is just the first round. Don't panic. Again, tell your friends, tell your relative friends, and whoever watching this video, whoever interested in Australian offshore program, because ACES is one currently opening now. Try to be respect to the program. Do not play with this program. Do not fool with this program. Do not flood in this program, because if this program end up to have 5,000 offshore applicants, and that we're probably going to see some major change to that. We don't know, because we're looking for healthy programs for offshore ones. But as I'm saying, those 80 ones, 100 ones, I don't think a lot of people actually understand what this 80 means. It does not suggest 80 point is the average point for offshore 491. It does not suggest 100 is the points for offshore 180. That's just not the case. We understand the criteria. We understand the potential applicants. We're still looking at the points to go down to 65 for offshore applicants. For 190s, you have to be careful with the job offer. For onshore ones, just have to prepare for a longer waiting period of time. Again, if the figure comes up next week, we're happy to talk about it again. But just keep on following our channel. We will post you the newest updates from the governments and from other experts as well. Thank you for watching this episode. Thank you.